Scorpio, how many battles are you fighting within yourself right now? Not external battles, not conflicts with other people, but silent wars raging in the dark corridors of your own soul. You know what I'm talking about. That constant struggle between letting go and holding on, between trusting and protecting yourself, between showing who you truly are and hiding your vulnerabilities behind layers and layers of defenses. There's a specific decision you've been putting off for weeks, maybe months, because you're afraid of what will happen when you finally make that choice. A decision that keeps you up late at night, turning over every possibility, every scenario, every outcome. But what if I told you that this decision you fear so much is precisely the door that will lead you to the peace you've been desperately searching for? That on the other side of this difficult choice lies a version of you that no longer carries this weight on your chest, that no longer lives in this constant tension, that can finally breathe deeply without feeling like something is suffocating inside. This weekend isn't random. There's a window opening specifically for you, a moment where the courage needed to make this decision will be more accessible than ever. You've been living in a constant state of alert, always prepared for the next disappointment, always expecting something to go wrong, always anticipating pain before it arrives. And this isn't paranoia. It's the result of all the times you've opened up and been hurt, all the times you've trusted and been betrayed, all the times you've loved deeply and ended up bleeding in silence. Your emotional intensity, which is one of your greatest gifts, has also become your greatest prison, because you feel everything so deeply that you've developed defense mechanisms so complex that even you can't distinguish where protection ends and self-sabotage begins. The decision before you isn't about other people. It's not about external relationships, work, or any situation outside of yourself. The decision is about yourself. It's about finally choosing to stop fighting who you truly are. Stop trying to control every aspect of your life because you're afraid of chaos. Stop punishing yourself for past mistakes as if you need to carry that guilt forever. Stop constantly testing people to see if they'll abandon you, creating self-fulfilling prophecies where you push away those who could stay. Scorpio, you are the sign of transformation, of rebirth, of the phoenix rising from the ashes. But you've been stuck in a cycle of burning your own wings before you even attempt to fly, telling yourself it's protection, wisdom, and realism, when in reality it's fear disguised as strength. It's vulnerability hidden behind a mask of invincibility. It's a wounded heart pretending it doesn't need healing, because admitting the pain would be admitting weakness. The decision you need to make this weekend is radically simple, yet emotionally complex. Choose peace over war. Choose to trust that you are strong enough to handle whatever comes your way instead of trying to control everything so nothing bad happens. Choose to allow yourself to be seen, truly seen, in all your depth and complexity, instead of hiding your most vulnerable parts as if they were shameful. You've been carrying a particular burden that isn't even yours to carry. It could be guilt over a choice you made in the past that you can no longer change. It could be responsibility for other people's emotions that you've internalized as your own. It could be the belief that you must always be strong, always in control, always untouchable, to deserve love and respect. It could be the deep fear that if you truly let go, if you truly trust, if you truly open yourself up completely, you'll be destroyed. For Scorpios born between October 23rd and November 2nd, the decision involves finally letting go of a resentment you've been harboring as if it were part of your identity. A forgiveness you refuse to give, not necessarily to someone else, but to yourself. For those born between November 3rd and 13th, the choice involves allowing someone to see your vulnerabilities without using it as a test to see if they'll hurt you. For those born between November 14th and 22nd, the decision is about stopping sabotaging something good because you don't believe you deserve good things, or because you're expecting it to fail anyway. Your Scorpio nature allows you to see layers of reality that others can't. You detect lies, sense energies, and perceive hidden intentions. But sometimes this ability backfires, causing you to see threats where none exist, interpret innocent actions as calculated strategies, and turn every human interaction into a minefield of potential betrayal. And this is exhausting. It's exhausting to live constantly prepared for war. The peace available to you this weekend is not the peace of those who give up or become naive. It is the peace of the warrior who finally understands that not everything has to be a battle. It is the peace of those who are strong enough to be kind to themselves. It is the peace of those who have enough power to choose not to use it as a weapon against themselves and others. It is the profound peace that comes from finally stopping fighting your own nature and starting to work in harmony with it. There's a specific situation in your life right now that has been draining your mental and emotional energy for far too long. A situation you keep ruminating over, reprocessing, trying to understand, trying to control, trying to resolve. And the more you focus on it, the more power it has over you. The decision you need to make is simply let go. Not because you've given up, not because you've been defeated, but because you recognize that continuing to hold on to it is costing you peace, and your peace is worth more. Letting go is particularly difficult for a Scorpio because they never do anything halfway. When they love with total intensity. When they commit, it's complete commitment. When they invest emotionally in something or someone, they invest everything. So letting go feels like a betrayal of themselves, like a waste of everything they've invested, like admitting defeat. But it's not. Letting go is acknowledging that you gave it your all, and that now it's time to redirect that powerful energy towards something truly worthy of it. Scorpio, I know you're feeling something stirring inside you right now, something that's been dormant, buried, hidden deep within where you keep your most intimate truths. Maybe it's relief that someone is finally speaking directly about this war you've been waging alone. Maybe it's fear of truly making the change you know you need. Maybe it's hope, that dangerous hope you try not to feel so you don't get disappointed again. But what if this time were different? What if you finally allowed yourself to believe that you deserve peace, that you deserve a break from this constant battle against yourself, that you deserve to experience lightness, even as someone who naturally lives in the depths? Leave a comment now saying, I choose peace, and I am ready to make the decision that sets me free. These words aren't just a comment, they're a statement of intent. You're telling the universe, yourself, and other Scorpios who are also struggling that you're ready, that you'll no longer postpone this decision out of fear, that you recognize your own worth and your right to peace, because your courage can inspire another Scorpio to do the same, because your vulnerability, shared with purpose, becomes a power that multiplies and helps others find the strength to make their own difficult decisions. You are not alone in this struggle. The decision before you this weekend carries a specific weight because you know that once you make this choice, there's no going back. And you hate burned bridges, hate permanently closed doors, even when they're doors to prisons where you've been kept. Part of you wants to keep all options open, all possible scenarios, as if not fully deciding is a way to maintain control over the future. But here's the truth you need to hear. Indecision is also a decision. And it's the decision to stay exactly where you are, carrying exactly what you've been carrying, feeling exactly what you've been feeling. Not deciding is choosing the familiarity of known suffering over the possibility of unknown peace. And you've suffered enough. You've already proven your strength through more pain than was necessary. The peace that awaits you on the other side of this decision doesn't mean your life will become superficial or shallow. You won't lose your characteristic intensity, your ability to feel deeply, your ability to see beyond appearances. On the contrary, when you're no longer expending all your energy on internal battles, your intensity becomes more focused, more powerful, more transformative, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you. Imagine waking up one day and not feeling that immediate weight on your chest. Not starting the day already mentally exhausted because you spent the entire night reprocessing situations, not feeling that constant need to be on guard, waiting for the next blow. Imagine feeling light enough to laugh genuinely, without that inner voice telling you not to be happy because something bad could happen at any moment. This isn't fantasy. This is the reality available to you when you make the decision you've been avoiding. And this weekend is the ideal time because you're at a point where the pain of staying where you are has finally surpassed the fear of change. You've reached a threshold, a saturation, a point where you can no longer pretend everything is okay, where you can no longer postpone, where you can no longer rationalize that you can hold on a little longer. The decision can seem daunting because you're only seeing the first step, the difficult part of actually making the choice. But you're not seeing what comes next. The liberation, the relief, the feeling of finally being aligned with your own truth. Peace doesn't come from perfect external circumstances. It comes from being in inner harmony, from no longer being at war with yourself. Scorpio, one of your greatest strengths is your capacity for total transformation. You don't change superficially. You die and are reborn repeatedly throughout your life. Each transformation leaves you stronger, wiser, more powerful. But you've been resisting this next transformation because part of you is tired. Tired of dying, tired of being reborn, tired of always having to be strong enough to go through the fire and emerge on the other side. But what if this transformation were different? What if this time it wasn't about death and rebirth, but about conscious choice and deliberate peace? What if you could simply decide to stop carrying what isn't yours, let go of what has served its purpose, release what's keeping you stuck, without having to go through a dramatic and painful process first? This weekend offers just that, the opportunity to make a profound change through a clear, conscious decision, rather than being forced to change by painful external circumstances. It's a rare chance to be in complete control of your own transformation, something you've always wanted but rarely had. The resistance you feel toward this decision isn't a sign that you're not ready. It's a sign that the decision is important, that it will change something fundamental, that it has real consequences. And you're prepared for those consequences, even if you don't feel like you are. You've always been prepared. You've just been waiting for the right moment of courage to actually act. Part of your resistance stems from a fear of disappointing people. Scorpios are intensely loyal, and you may be avoiding this decision because it affects not only you, but also those around you. Maybe it's a decision to set a boundary you've never set before. Maybe it's stopping doing something others expect of you. Maybe it's prioritizing your needs when your whole life you've prioritized the needs of others. But here's what you need to understand. You're not responsible for managing other people's emotions regarding your healthy decisions. You don't have to sacrifice yourself forever to prove your love, your loyalty, your commitment. People who truly love you will want your peace, even if it means changes that initially upset them. And people who only want you when you're sacrificing for them don't really want you. They want what you can do for them. The decision you make this weekend will show you who's truly on your side. It may reveal that some people won't react well to your choice of peace, and this will hurt because you deeply value the few people you let into your inner circle. But it will also show you who truly loves you for who you are, not for what you do for them or the role you play in their lives. Scorpio, you have a gift for seeing the truth in situations and people, but you've used this gift primarily to protect yourself, to detect danger, to anticipate betrayal. What if you began using this same gift to recognize beauty, detect genuine love, anticipate positive possibilities? What if your depth, instead of being used to dig deeper into pain, was used to explore the depths of joy, authentic connection, and inner peace? This weekend's decision will require you to trust yourself in a new way, not trusting your ability to survive pain. You've proven that 1,000 times. But trusting your ability to handle happiness, peace, and good things without constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. Trusting that you deserve to feel good, that you don't need to gain peace through suffering, that you can simply choose something better for yourself. When you finally make that decision, there probably won't be fireworks or dramatic signs from the universe confirming your choice. Peace is more subtle. It will come as a slow exhalation, as tension gradually melting from your shoulders, as nights where you finally sleep soundly without nightmares or intrusive thoughts. It will arrive as a moment, as where you realize you are no longer anticipating catastrophes, no longer prepared for war, no longer constantly vigilant. And in these moments of genuine peace, you will discover parts of yourself that have been dormant. Your creativity will flow more freely. Your ability to connect deeply with others will expand in surprising ways. Your natural intensity will express itself not as rigid control or fierce defensiveness, but as passion, as deep love, as a powerful commitment to what truly matters. The decision won't solve all your problems. It won't magically make everything in your life perfect, but it will solve the biggest problem of all, the constant internal war. And when you're no longer fighting yourself, you have much more energy, clarity, and strength to deal with the external challenges that truly matter. Scorpio, this weekend is your moment. Not because the stars magically aligned, but because you've reached the point of emotional maturity where you're ready to make the courageous choice. All the suffering you've endured, all the pain you've carried, all the struggle you've endured, none of it was in vain if it brought you to this moment of conscious and deliberate decision for peace. You've always known, deep down, that this time would come. This decision isn't a surprise to you. It's an inevitability finally recognized. It's something your soul already knew you needed to do. And now your conscious mind is finally ready to align with this profound truth. The peace you'll experience after this decision won't make you any less of a Scorpio. It won't diminish your depth, your intensity, or your power. It will simply redirect these incredible qualities toward purposes that truly serve you, rather than keeping them trapped in cycles of self-sabotage and constant hypervigilance. This weekend, when you make this decision, do it with the same intensity you do everything. Not half-heartedly, not with reservations, not leaving doors open to backtrack. Commit fully to your own peace, just as you commit fully to the people you love. Give yourself the same fierce loyalty you give to others. Fight for your own happiness with the same determination you would use to protect someone you love. And when you do, when you truly decide, without looking back, without second thoughts, without backup plans for your pain, something fundamental will shift within you. A door that has been locked for so long will finally open. And on the other side is the version of you that no longer needs to prove anything, that no longer needs to carry anything that isn't yours, that can finally just be. The decision is before you. Peace is waiting. This weekend is the moment. And you, more than anyone, know when it's time to truly act. Trust what you feel, honor what you know, and choose, finally and completely, the peace you've always deserved. Share in the comments that you're ready to make your decision. No need to explain what it is. Just acknowledge that you know what you need to do and will do it. Subscribe to the channel because your transformation will continue beyond this weekend. You'll need support to maintain your decision, to avoid falling back into old patterns when the discomfort of change sets in. You'll need reminders of why you chose peace, that you're on the right path. Turn on notifications so you don't miss content that will strengthen you in this new phase. Your decision for peace isn't the end of your Scorpio intensity. It's the beginning of its most powerful use, and you're ready for it, even if you don't feel like it yet. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting despite fear. And this weekend, you'll do just that.